Good evening, and welcome to eBaumsWorld News. She's tan. She's a mom. She's a Howard Stern darling, and now she's running for Senate. Though tan mom Patricia Krenzel may have skyrocketed to pop culture infamy in 2012 after allegedly sneaking her then 5-year-old daughter into a tanning salon, she has since shed her excessively bronzed ways, attempting to herald political change by challenging Rick Scott for one of Florida's Senate seats. Her campaign may have initially been interpreted as a big attention-grabbing grift, one that even briefly fooled us, but we, as the diligent journalists behind eBaumsWorld, knew that there was more to the story. We got to the heart of Tan Mom's senatorial ambitions, speaking with her about everything from her stances on healthcare, immigration, and even the conspiracy behind her Tan Mom persona. Take a look. Hi Patricia, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
First question. You're beloved in the queer community, and although you identify as a Republican, you don't seem to believe in the party's anti-queer agenda. How can you make your platform even gayer?
I believe in LGBTQ, drag queens and so forth. And we raised a ton of money for the cathedral to support and help, everybody that doesn't believe and are so against it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that completely makes sense. So, in your song, Free to Be Me, you sang, quote, "Tan or white, we just are." How does that sentiment inform your stance on immigration?
Tan or white? Well, if I'm tan or if I'm white, I've been ridiculed and shunned from the world, when I was so dark or I was tainted dark. I believe that immigrants should be welcome into our country where Trump built the wall. And I found that I'm a Republican, but one of the things I didn't like what Trump did is build that wall because, tan or white, we're all equal, just like gays. We can go back to liberal rights. Immigration is a big and one of our next steps that we're going to be working on. Another project that we're doing that I'm learning a lot more about.
Wonderful. Well, we're excited to hear it. So similarly, in your song Moneymaker, you sing, quote, "I don't want your dick in your penis in me." Do you think that there should be higher mandatory minimum sentences for men convicted of sexual assault?
Yes, I do. I believe that sexual assault in this world is very high and that men get away with it. They are put in jail for several hours and then set free, where the woman might become pregnant because of a rape, let's say. I believe they should get a harsher sentence. I think they should definitely serve some time.
Next question. How quickly can you find yourself in this photo?
Okay, that's a good one. Now I get why that was sent. I'm very dark in this picture. Blend into my couch, and I think it's hysterical, to be quite frank with you. I'm really not that dark. I think that was tainted a little bit. Yes, I was tanning. As you can see, I've curbed my tanning as well.
What inspired you to curb your tanning?
I just, it's not, it used to be like a necessity in my life, and it really is just not anymore.
So moving on here, do you believe your arrest from 2012 was preemptive election interference?
Somebody did, and I would love to know who. It was a single individual because the owner of the salon, first of all, she wasn't even in there. None of this would have went on. It said she did not do this, and they just went. This went global. Went to Japan. It was all around the world. It was a complete nightmare. We had a family crisis over. It cost us like 3 houses. Somebody's behind it. Exactly what or who, I don't know, but we have ideas.
Do you think that this person had your Senate run in mind as they were doing this?
Yes.
Even 11 years ago?
Yes.
Moving on here a little bit. If a high-ranking Chinese government official offered you magic mushrooms on a diplomatic trip to China, would you partake? And should hallucinogens like magic mushrooms and every type of weed be legal nationally as opposed to just on a state-by-state basis?
I don't believe in it. If somebody offered me it or a trip to China, I would definitely refuse.
You'd refuse a trip to China?
Yes.
Why would you not want to go to on a trip to China even as a U.S. senator?
To be quite honest with you, it sounds a little ridiculous. The flight is too long.
Wonderful. So Moving on here, what would you tell an evangelical family values Republican voter about the gay porn film you appeared in, being arrested and charged with child endangerment for allegedly bringing your then 5-year-old daughter into a tanning bed with you, inadvertently flashing your labia to Howard Stern, inadvertently flashing the audience of your COVID-19 benefit concert, singing about, quote, dick and penis, and threatening to, quote, fucking fuck your musical partner Adam Barta if he made you look bad on camera?
Those were wild days, and certain things I had done, I regret, but I'm human. And what I was going through was inhuman. I based my reactions on how I was feeling, and I was feeling crazy.
So, final question here. Donald Trump's orange complexion is a constant source of ridicule, especially on the left. What advice would you give him, both in terms of how he should deal with such, quote, haters and losers, and as well as how he could better self-tan?
He looks orange. He looks really orange. People have told me, you look orange, you look ridiculous. And in my eyes, I didn't even see it. He probably doesn't even see it. So I'm telling him, lose your tan image a little bit, because you don't look so great.
Do you think Donald Trump is suffering from tanorexia?
Yes. If I can overcome it, he can overcome it.
That is the most inspiring message I've heard in a very long time. Thank you so much. Is there anything else before we sign off that you want to say about anything we've discussed today, or just in general?
I just want everyone, just to believe in me, that I'm learning. I'm a great person inside and out, and I'm willing to make a change for people in an honest way. They wanted to do a documentary on me. A couple of people have offered to do this. And if more politicians running were documented on what they were doing, then we would see the honest truth. And I'm a very truthful person. And it's a great asset I have. Can every politician say that? Thank you so much for having me.
This has been Carly Tennis for eBaumsWorld News. And remember, never log off.